Hi, I'm Jay, and welcome to my very first video. I built a starter home today in The Sims 4 and thought to myself, hey, why not record it and upload it to YouTube? So here we are. As you can probably tell, the quality isn't the best and the video editing isn't the best either. I'm trying to improve. This is my very first video, as I just said, so please be kind. Yeah, there's some things I still need to tweak and some things I still need to figure out, but yeah, here we go. So a little bit about me. Hi, I'm Jay. I'm 27 years old, and I've been playing The Sims for 18 years now, I think, roughly. I've always built. I've always played The Sims on and off, and I thought to myself, I mean, you're playing The Sims almost every day. Why not record it and maybe get some feedback or maybe get some inspiration from people that think, hey, why not do this or why not do that? Maybe, if anybody ever watches these videos. I don't know that yet. So yeah, I tried to build a starter home, and that is very difficult for me because I usually do not play in starter homes. I usually do like a rags to riches kind of gameplay, or I try to play through a career or an aspiration or something like that. So I rarely ever start with this small budget of a home. Usually I start with 0 simoleons or just cheat some money my way. Yeah, I apologize. My voice is not the best right now. I'm slightly coughy, so please bear with me. Yeah. So I decided very early on that I was going to do something pretty simple because usually simple is best when it comes to starter homes, just to make sure that you don't have to adjust too much and don't have to decorate too much around the place. Now, I usually put in like the necessities first, like the things you cannot live without, and then go from there. I had to do some adjustments in the back end because I ended up running out of money, which is obviously not a surprise. It's a starter home. But yeah, I try to keep everything relatively neutral. I moved my Sim self in, but I mean, I think I held it like gender neutral and generally like style-wise pretty neutrally. Yeah. What it starts out as is not what it ends up being in most things. I shift it back and forth a lot because, as I said, things didn't necessarily work out the way I thought they would. Now, with this bed, for example, I put it in and didn't necessarily recognize at first that it was the beat up version, so I had to readjust that. Yeah, but I was super surprised seeing that the eco lifestyle stuff was so inexpensive. It was usually like throughout most of the categories, it was one of the first options in most of the rooms. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by something. I didn't think that would happen after playing The Sims 4 for so long. Yeah. I need to say that I'm not an expert in building at all. I usually go for function over beauty. Usually, I try to make things look a little lived in, but usually I don't go for something that is super decorated or super like thought through, which is probably not a bad thing if you're just focusing on playing actual gameplay. But when it comes to building, obviously you need to take a little bit more care and put a little more effort in. You can see myself hesitating a couple of times, even though the footage is sped up, because I, from time to time, did not know what direction I wanted to go with, like design-wise. And also sometimes I had to switch up the music that I was listening to while I was doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna test out how this goes. I'm going to test out how everything works out with, like, again, the editing of the video, and see from there. I may be recording some things previously, so that I can kind of give a little bit of content at first. I don't think that just dropping one video and then leaving it at that is going to be a good idea. You can see that I ran into a couple of things where I thought that's how things function, but they didn't. I was, for some reason, I was so sure that the small TV was gonna snap to, like, one of the shelves, but it didn't. Also, this, like, fake, what is that called? Fake fireplace? Like, the mantle? I really, really wanted that because it fills up the wall and it's super inexpensive, but I end up, like, scrapping that in the end as well, because I realized that if I wanted to be cost efficient, I needed to make the starter home a little smaller. I didn't want it to look like a starter home, but it ended up being relatively tiny comparatively, so yeah, I had to make a couple adjustments. Now, I'm a type, I usually go for super, super bland colors and super neutral colors for the outside. So lots of whites and grays and beiges for me usually. So I wouldn't say this is my particular style, but when it comes to the color scheme, this is very much what I usually built as. As? I don't know if that's the right thing. Also, fun fact, English is not my first language. I try to keep my accent neutral and not to sound too European, even though I am European. But yeah, I'm gonna be stumbling through pronunciations and grammar errors and, like, all these things. So yeah. I don't know if this is going to be fun for anybody to watch any of my videos and listen to me talk, since I find personally my voice is kind of annoying and my English is not the best, so have fun. Yeah. Here you can see me desperately trying to make the outside look like I put some effort in. I put these, like, flower boxes on the windows. I think that looks really, really pretty. And if you look at it from, like, the street, it looks very put together with the flowers. So I really, really liked that, and it helped me out when you look at it from the outside. It makes a ton of difference, I think. This is something with, like, the curtain that I always do wrong the first time around. Like, I always mess that up. Always. I every time I do this, I'm like, oh, of course that's how it works. And then I try to do it again, and then I completely do it the wrong way around again. Yeah, here you see me kind of trying to make the last, like, $650 or simoleons stretch. They didn't. Spoiler alert. I had to make the house a little smaller for it to work. But yeah, I tried to desperately put in inexpensive decorative items to, one, make it look less sterile and kind of more lived in, and two, for it to actually be decorated. I don't think your Sims will get a moodlet, like, nicely decorated in this house. But since it's a starter home, and you usually in the starter home try to work yourself up to earn more money, you will be able to kind of decorate it a little more and spruce it up a little more. This is here where I decided to put some tiles in to kind of make the walls less boring. And I put the columns in because I really find it weird when, like, a wallpaper just stops in the middle of the wall and there's just, like, no visual cut if that makes sense. So I usually put a column there to kind of frame that different area, so to kind of show that the kitchen starts from the columns. Here again, trying to make the money stretch, trying to make the walls look less boring, but I didn't have enough money to put like a painting up, so I decided maybe a colorful wall would be the way to go. Yep, and here is me fiddling with things to kind of fill up the space and not go over budget. My eyes were on that little number of simoleons the whole time, and I was just like trying to make it work, trying to make it look more put together. I even had to like move one of the flower boxes back and forth. Like it was a situation. Yeah. And I really try to like fill the walls and make them look less bland. Here you see me trying to find a color for like an accent wall, but that really didn't fit the way I wanted it to fit. So I go back and forth. I'm like, what if I put carpet in there? Maybe that's less expensive. And yeah. At some point, that's where I decided I'm gonna have to make the kitchen smaller. I'm just gonna have to. Like, there's no way. Things are slightly off center here and there, which kind of bugs me usually. But I think I did the best that I could under the circumstances. I know there's so many super talented builders out there that can do a lot more with that type of budget. I tried my best under the circumstances, and that's what my best is. So there's that. Yeah. And now I'm just trying to maybe use the leftover money to fill the walls a little bit. I then realized that is a very expensive painting. Yeah, I think that's basically it. We don't really have too much left to go. So this was my very first video, my very first voiceover, my very first everything, really. I hope you enjoyed it. I put the house up on the gallery, the lot. My gallery name is JayPlayz278. I'm gonna put everything in the description down below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, maybe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Post a comment down below, maybe about something that you want me to do, or constructive criticism, which I'm very open for. And if you want to see more, please consider subscribing, and I will see you then in the next video. The way your body syncopates, you're driving me crazy. And lately I ain't thinking straight. Your body's amazing. for someone that likes talking so much, I was incredibly awkward doing this voiceover. I have no idea why. This is weird. I don't know why it's so weird. Oh my gosh. This is so gonna fail. I can feel it. Whatever.